Hello everyone, this is my third attempt making this video, so hope it's just as interesting as it was the first two times. I've ran through it one time. The second time I was fixing the first video and that was ruined as well. So I digress. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for subscribing and watching. Thanks everybody that responded to my 100 subscribers video. It means a lot to finally be over that first hurdle. I've been pushing for it since January, so thank you for everybody. Thanks to people that have shouted me out. I've got friends like Matthew Street, Steve at All the World's a Stage, Tommy Burton at Tommy's Musical Adventures, Glenn Kellaway at Glenn Kellaway from the Basement, Mike at Hub Tunes. Um, let's see, Beetle Brad has commented, has shouted me out a couple of times. So thank you to all of them. Thank you to the folks that are recent subscribers. Thank you to everybody that comments. It means a lot that 105 people are interested in my ramblings. So thank you. Okay, today is an exciting day for Beatles fans, George Harrison fans, rock fans. It is the official release day of the All Things Must Pass 50th anniversary 2020 remastering. Um, I've never had a copy of this album. I've only listened to it all the way through, I think twice. Um, but I caved and bought a box set of this album because I know I love George Harrison and I feel like I want to invest in this album because I love him to death. And I knew a bunch of these songs beforehand, but I'm really excited to get to hear it and some of the stuff that they released on YouTube, including like Cosmic Empire. Um, that stuff was like, wow, that stuff is good when it's just like demos. So um, my first video take of this was an unboxing. However, you can only unbox something one time, so I'm not even going to pretend to put it back in the box and all that good stuff. Um, I took it out of the shrink wrap. You can't save the shrink wrap. Um, there's the hype sticker, and I apologize that the camera's reversed. Long story, so I won't get into it. But I opted for, and again, there were several variations of this box set. I got the 5 CD plus 1 Blu-ray edition. Comes in a really nice like cardboard box, like a tiny record. So I'll show that too. George Harrison, All Things Must Pass, 50th anniversary, and it says the same thing on the other side. And yeah, let's just open her up. I opted against the $1,000 wooden crate box. It's massive. It's got all sorts of special booklets. It's got little trinkets. It's got little statues. Those of you that got it, I'm very impressed with it. I've seen a couple of videos of people unboxing it, and it's cool. But I think the only person that I would probably invest that much in would be Dylan, and it would have to be something really special for me to do that. But at my current state of finance, I can't do it. So anyway, I've opened the lid. I put a lid on the old the other packages of this, and let's press onto this one. So again, there's the cover, and like the original album, there's the original track list with credits on the side. So tons of people are on this album besides George. Eric Clapton, Dave Mason, Ringo, Klaus Vorman, Pete Drake, Bobby Keys, Jim Gordon, Alan White, Bobby Whitlock, Billy Preston. I mean, it's a top-notch group of session guys, and plenty of chops in that studio. So that's cool that it opens up like that, and it reveals the inside of the box with this little ribbon, which is going to help us lift out the contents within. So I will use that thusly, and I will start with the booklet there. and I'm just running through some things. It's a really cool booklet. You can see blank, about how thick it is, and yeah, there's just some neat stuff in here. There's they break down each track, which is really cool. Donnie, his son, curated a lot of this. He wrote a little paragraph here, and there's a cool picture there of George and Donnie in the studio, which is really cool. It looks like in the late 70s ish. So, cool picture. It breaks down, it's got pictures of, like session, who's on what session. It's got the tape boxes with the different tracks. Of course, a bunch of different images. Let's see here. This is there's some great tracks. I mean, Isn't It a Pity is one of the greatest tracks of all time. Probably my favorite version being from the Concert for George that they did after he passed away at the Royal Albert Hall. I'm trying to get a good picture here to show you. I mean, there's like lyrics to Beware of Darkness, and these maple leaves are sprung throughout the pages. That's a cool one. I've liked that picture a long time of George in that orange shirt playing the acoustic guitar. What's crazy is I showed my sisters I got two younger sisters, and I showed them the picture of the cover, and I said, take a guess at how old George is in this picture, and they said 40, 45. I said, he's 27, excuse me. He's 27. He's my age. So, yeah, that man on the cover, it's the same age as me. For those of you that didn't know, comes hard when you're a Beatle. There's George with Pete Drake, who's played on a lot of Nashville sessions. Of course, this was co-produced with Phil Spector. There's Phil Spector right there, who was a brilliant studio man, creep of a guy. So I do not condone Phil Spector's personal life. He inspired many, but he let us all down during his trials in the last 20 years. And he passed away early this year, I think. There's another good picture of George. Yeah, I won't dwell on Phil Spector, but he knew how to make a record. This is a cool picture too. I've seen it before, and you can't really see it, but down there is Peter Frampton. There's Ringo, George, and Mal Evans. Pete Drake, excuse me. So yeah, you got Pete Drake, the pedal steel player, George, Ringo, Billy Preston, and Frampton. So, good grief. Imagine those guys going on tour together. They didn't, but imagine. Pensive George. And yeah, just some cool things. So, cool booklet. I'm going to look forward to reading the little notes and things in there. We also get a replica of the original album poster of George at his window, which is cool. I hate that the fold is right like on his neck, on his face area, so you don't really get like a clear picture of George. But it doesn't matter because I'm going to be leaving this in the box regardless, just for keeping it clean. And you can see I'm using a little ribbon to then take out the discs. The first disc has the album cover on it. That's the Blu-ray audio, which is just the original album and Blu-ray, a Blu-ray mix. And then you have disc 1 of the original album. It's just a track listing on the back. And there's disc 2, track listing. These are day 1 demos from May 26th of 1970. And of course, this was supposed to be released in conjunction with the 50th anniversary last year. COVID got in the way. They were able to finish some tweaks on it, and we get it 51 years later. This is the day 2 demos from Wednesday the 27th of 1970, and then the Apple Jam disc, which has a take of Get Back on it, which had just been recorded not too long before this album. So this was George's real first proper studio effort since leaving the Beatles. Well, since the Beatles broke up. He didn't really leave the Beatles, but that's another video. So it all fits nicely back. I really like this. I know people were complaining about the pricing and, you know, the variations. I'm a sucker for a box set. I have several of Dylan's massive box sets. The argument, being, you don't really listen to a box set once you listen to it the first one or two times because it's difficult to get out. Um, I just like having the music, um, and going back to it to listen to and to really appreciate the artist, especially with those acoustic demos. I love that kind of thing. And, this was about as much as I've paid for any of the Dylan records. It's, those of you that bought it know how much it was. It was 140, 150 bucks. But, you know, and people sometimes are afraid to say the price of what they paid for it. Just go on Amazon, you'll know how much it cost me, so it's not a secret. But I'm looking forward to listening to it. I likely won't do a review because there'll be so many of those out there, and I've got some exciting things that I want to do in celebration of my 100th subscriber. Now I think I'm at 105 at the time of this recording. So thank you for everybody for watching. Let me know what variation of All Things Must Pass you purchased, and let me know how you think it sounds. And I look forward to talking to you all soon. Subscribe, and yeah, listen to some George today. Take care.